What's up YouTube, Hunter416 here with my ban list prediction video. I see that people are starting to put these up all around YouTube, so I thought I'd get my 2 cents in before everything got flooded with ban list videos. And I'm going to first talk about what is banned and what might become unbanned, then go to limited, then go to semi-limited, and tell you the moves. And then I'm going to tell you what might go new to banned, and what's new to semi-limited, and what's new to limited. So let's start with banned to no longer banned, and my first card will be Spore. I think Spore can be unbanned because plant decks really aren't all that popular, and really this card only worked well because Go Up Bulb was in decks, and plant decks could really take over with that. In a truly plant-based deck, I don't think Spore is too big of a problem. It's not as big of a threat with Go Up Bulb being banned, so I think that it's fine that Spore comes back next format. Next card, I wanted to pick one from each type, so I picked Card of Safe Return to come back, but I do have stipulations on this because Card of Safe Return is a pretty good card. It got banned because of, back in the day, the zombie players and all the other decks that would just swarm from the grave, so it would just be a plus card. I feel this card should come back if Wind Up Hunter gets banned. I think that coming back wouldn't be too big of a problem, and I'd like to see it back. I know there's decks that could take advantage of it, but it's a good card. I think it's fair. It's not too, compared to all the other spells, it's not too out of the woodwork. Next is Imperial Order. Imperial Order is a pretty good card. I relate it to Royal Decree. I know spells are more influential in the game and are more important. You pay a cost each turn, you have this up by paying 700 life points during each of your standby phases, or the card's destroyed. I'd like to see it back for a format just to see how it does. I think it would be very interesting. And the next one is Dark Magician of Chaos. I really don't think it's going to come back. I know many people want it to come back. People are saying take BLS out and switch it for Dark Magician of Chaos, but that wouldn't be enough. They'd have to take Blackluster out and Reborn and Darkhold to bring back Dark Magician of Chaos, and I think that's just taken away too much just to bring back one card. You can't replace a broken card with a broken card. So I think that's too much. And a choice that I really want to happen, I want Brain Control back. And I don't know how many people have thought about this, but I think Brain Control and switching it for Mind Control wouldn't be that bad. Only because Brain Control, you pay 800 life points and you take control of one of your opponent's monsters till the end phase. Mind Control, you take their monster, and the only stipulation is it can't be tributed or it can't attack, I believe. And, you know, I think you pay the 800 cost with Brain Control and it can attack, that's fine. I like that. I think a swap between Brain Control and Mind Control would be good, and that's just my personal opinion. If you disagree, leave a comment and we can discuss it more. As I said before, Mind Control to be banned for Brain Control. Next I have Gale the Whirlwind, Kalut, and Black Whirlwind. They're coming out with a new Blackwing Synchro and a new Blackwing Exceed monster. So I think to hype them up, they definitely, I think, should bring Black Whirlwind to 2, and one of these to 2 as well. Either Gale or Kalut. And I think they're more likely to bring Gale than Kalut, only because Gale is, it's a good tuner, but it's not an honest effect like Kalut. And there's a little bit of a discrepancy between hand traps right now, and I think Kalut at 1 is fine. 2, it becomes a little tricky, but I don't think it's too broken. I mean, Blackwing decks I don't think will ever become competitive again, so I don't see a problem with it. It's both at 2, really. But I think they'd just bring one of them back. And next would be Mizuki, just because I want to see some zombie decks come back. Just start seeing different decks try to pop up and pop their heads in top 16s or top 32s, just because zombies have been completely wiped off the board in this format, and I like zombie decks, to be honest with you. And the last 2 cards, I have TG Striker and Agent of Mystery Earth. I think both should go to semi-limited, but if only one would, I believe they'd go TG Striker rather than Agent of Mystery Earth, only because I don't think they really like Agent decks that much, Konami, and they really killed it, and I think they want to keep it killed. And TG Striker isn't the worst. I know it has a Cyber Dragon effect, and it's level 2, but and it's a tuner, but I wouldn't mind seeing TG Striker back at 2. Well, I wouldn't mind seeing it at 3 again, but I wouldn't mind seeing it at 2. Next, I have, from semi-limited to unlimited, I have Swords level limit area B and Geometry, really, because they don't see play at 2. That's just the truth. Possibly Swords would be the most likely to stay at 2. I think level limit can go to 3, and I think Geometry can definitely go to 3, because burn decks really don't use Geometry. And the one card I have moving to limited from semi-limited would be Summoner Monk. Only because Exceeding has become popular now. It's definitely overtaken Synchroing, and I think it's time to put Summoner Monk at 1. Only because he's a free Exceed with. He could be a free Exceed or Synchro, which is, I think, just a little broken. All you need to do is discard a spell card. I know there's a cost, but still, Exceeding's become popular. I think we can live with him at 1. There's new Spellcaster type coming out, so I can see them putting him at 1. Next, from new to banned is what this one is called. And Future Fusion's my first on the list, and I think it's definitely time to see this card go. It's been in the format forever. It's been in formats since it's come out. With Chaos Dragons, it completely made this card a ridiculously broken card, and I don't need to explain it to anybody, because if you've ever played Chaos Dragons, you know they get tons of advantage just from playing this, and it's time for it to leave the format. It'll hurt a couple other decks, but Chaos Dragons ruined it for them, because I think it's on its way out. Next, I have Monster Reborn and Dark Hole. Again, I only put this here just in case Dark Magician and Chaos came back. I really don't think they're going to take either out. If they were going to take one of these out, I think they'd take out Reborn. Next, Wind Up Hunter. I'm not too sure they're going to ban Wind Up Hunter. I think they're either going to ban Wind Up Hunter or make Zen Matey at 2. And I'd rather see them make Zen Matey at 2, only because it makes the hand loop. It doesn't kill windups, and it makes the hand loop a lot more difficult to complete. So I wouldn't mind seeing that at 2. Next, I have Sangan going banned. And not too many people are going to like this, but Sangan is a broken card. It's been in our format since I've started replaying again, which was about 2 years, for 2 years now. And I think it's really, it's time for it to go. With tour guide plays and all that, I mean, they're either going to do one of two things. They're going to ban Sangan, or they're going to semi-limit tour guide. And I'd rather see them semi-limit Sangan. I'd rather see them ban Sangan than see them semi-limit tour guide. Only because I think it's more of a fair switch. Plus, I'd like to see what people would tech in to run as another fiend for tour guide if their Sangan was lost. Next, Blackluster Soldier. Just broken. Best top deck in the game right now. It's a little too broken. It's been in the format. I think it's one of those cards they bring back for a year, and it's seen its fun. You've seen what it can do. Now it's time to go back. It won't kill Twilight decks. It'll kill most Twilight decks because players probably won't want to play them anymore. But it's time for it to go. Next, limited. I have Rescue Rabbit being limited, and I only say Rescue Rabbit limited because it's really a broken card. I could see it going semi-limited. I'd be okay with it being semi-limited, but it has to get hit. I don't see any of its exceeds getting, I don't see any of the exceeds for Dino Rabbits getting hit, so I see either Rescue Rabbit going to 1 or to 2, to be fair. And next is Super Polymerization. Super Polymerization is a broken card. I think that it should have been at least semi-limited this format. It's really one of the cards that keep heroes alive, really, or competitive. They can steal a card from your side of the field as a friggin' fusion, but I need to see it at 1 only because 1 or 2, at least 2, and I think 2 is too much, but at least I think 2 would be decent, but 1 would be a better format, only because now they're getting Escarado. They're getting their Dark one. They can hit anything on the field now. Their Super Poly is never going to be dead, so needs to be at 1 or at 2 because it's a pretty good card. Next, new to semi-limited, I have Insected Dragonfly. And the only reason I have Insected Dragonfly is because I don't like seeing him at 1. I think that totally kills the deck. 2 doesn't kill the deck, but it severely hurts it. And it's not really doing good in TCG. I know it's doing pretty well in the OCG, but in the TCG it's not really doing that well. So I don't see it going past semi-limited, but you know, who knows. Next, I have Red Eyes Darkness Metal. Hitting Future Fusion, I don't think is enough. Red Eyes Darkness Metal is just a broken card. He needs to be at 2 only because there's also Heretic decks that run him. Or Heretics, I don't know how people like to say it. And Gustav Max is coming out, so him at 2 would be a lot better than him at 3. Only because he's really a broken card, especially summon a dragon from the grave or your hand, and all you gotta do is banish a dragon to get him out. Just too easy to get out, and I don't personally like seeing him like that. Next is Skill Drain. I've always considered Skill Drain a broken card, and it can totally take your opponent out of the game. This will hurt some Dark World decks, not severely enough to where they couldn't be played, but it hurts them a little bit. I just think seeing it 2 would be good. It's an incredibly good card. I haven't seen it on many people's list, but it is a good card. It's very anti-meta, and I think seeing it 2 will be good. And the last was Tour Guide for the reasons I said before. I think they'd only keep this at they'd only make this a 2 if they didn't ban Sangan. So I think you're going to see either or. And finally, the extra deck ones, I have Trishula coming back. Synchros aren't popular anymore. Decks that do Synchro, that can get him out, will benefit from it. And I just think that since Exceeding is overtaking Synchroing, it's okay to bring back one of the best Synchro monsters in the game. Because he is one of the best Synchro monsters. Next is Legendary 6 Samurai Shien. Since they reprinted all the 6 Samurais, I think they could possibly bring him to 2. I wouldn't personally like that, only because then we'd see our format swarmed with 6 Samurai players again, but I'm not necessarily against it because I do like seeing 6 Samurai decks being built. I know it's incredibly too easy to build them now, but back in the day when Samurai decks were hard to make, it was good. But I think they might possibly put him at 2. That's a possibility. Probably not, but possibility. Next, Levia the Sea Dragon. This is the only Exceed I think will definitely hit the ban list. I think he'll be semi-limited or limited. Most likely limited, because semi-limited, most people just run 2 at the most. So I think he'd be limited. And my last one is Wind Up Carrier Zenmaity. Again, only if they don't ban Wind Up Hunter. For obvious reasons. Makes the hand loop a little harder. And that's pretty much all that there is. So if you stuck around to the end, thank you for watching this video. If you have cards that you feel that I've missed, comment below. I will review what you put there, and I will think about it, and I will repost a video before the next ban list prediction, before the new ban list comes out with updated cards, if you guys convince me that I should change my ban list. Thank you all for watching, and don't forget to like this video, comment on anything you want changed, and Bear Hunter 416 signing off. Have a nice day.